The Lost Cryptids Conservatory, where we will shatter your reality to bring you closer to the truth.
All right, guys, welcome back to another live show. My co-host is Josh today, and we have a very special guest, Igor Burtsev from Russia. Of course, he needs no introduction, I would say. Today we have a number of things to talk about. Igor would like to discuss. Igor, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm
Tonight
okay.
for you.
I am preparing to visit the United States again. Since June 7, I will be there for maybe 1 or 2 months, and to speak on some conferences there, to share my information about my researcher here in Russia and also in America, in North America, and also in France. I was last year there, and now the research there is continuing, and every day I receive new information from some regions of Russia where I was in expedition last time in November, but my friends were in May, and this May there at the same place. They also have some adventures there. And so just in end of April, it was a conference in the United States, in Nebraska, and in Colorado. And even in Colorado, we arranged the session of phone speaking with our Bigfoot from there, from Colorado. We spoke to our Bigfoot there in our country, some 1,000 miles of Moscow away. Yeah, that is every day brings some news about this study, about this research, etc.
Yes, this ongoing research, this place in Russia where you've had interaction with this particular Sasquatch that called you, the phone conversation. Is that correct?
Yeah. And I want to say that at first we thought that maybe it is some big ape like Gigantopithecus or something else preserved till now. But in our country, the professor, Dr. Porshnev, in 1960s, he came to conclusion that they are not such an ape, but they are like Neanderthals, some subhumans. And I can say that all the 20th century we looked for some evidence of such a wild creature there in the forest, in the mountains. The expedition started from Himalayan mountains, and after in Pamir Mountains in our country, in the Soviet Union, previous Soviet Union. Now it is separate countries there, Kyrgyzia, and, yes. And after in Caucasus, between Black and Caspian Seas in our country, we also I was starting there. I had started there my activities in this field in Caucasus, North Caucasus, and in other regions, some in the European part of Russia, in the north of Russia, in close to Ural Mountains. In 2018, one person from the north, Misha Smirnov, he put a game camera on the tree, and one creature was shot there. We studied that film after. I connected with M.K. Davis in the United States, and he also studied that film, and we came to conclusion that this was real wild or adjacent wild human, or like so, wild man, yes, wild man of our forest, and it happened in 2018. But at the same time, some information came from another republic, autonomous. We have in our country, in Russia, we have some national republic, one called Bashkiria or Bashkortostan, and we have learned that one young man, one guy, made a picture, made a video of one creature. It happened once. It was it happened in 2016.
Okay.
He was running by car with three passenger girls with him.
Yes.
They
That
were
video went
moving
pretty
there.
viral.
And
Yes.
once the creature got out of the bushes and followed, shook the car. Yes, shook. And after that, this car shook him. And when they ran again, this creature got up to the trunk of the car and had beaten the back glass of the car and broken it.
Wow.
And since that, it happened in 2016, but he produced it, he showed this video. One of the girls inside, which was inside the car, she took the video with her phone camera, and also, and it shows creatures out of the car. Of course, it was not good quality. We studied this film also, and he came to conclusion that it was real. And in November of 2019, we visited that place, checked that, and we found a lot of signs that the creatures, wild men, live there. After that, we were in expedition there in July of 2020. In July, we had a lot of findings there. Maybe we spoke about this before, that we found the footprints and made the cast of that footprints of one of their creatures. Oh, I have this. This is one.
Yeah, that video. I
Yes,
think people
I
have
know.
watched
Just
it.
remind
Wow.
this.
Oh wow.
This is one of the cast of that footprint.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're quite
I
detailed.
remember that we discussed this before. But next time, in November of 2020, we also visited that place and small expedition, and they are happening there. And last time in May, my friends also went there. I could not go there because I was in the United States at the conferences in
course,
Nebraska
yes.
and Colorado. And they again met with some happening. They happened there some adventures, and they contacted this, but it was not. It was very weird. There are some actions were incredible. For example, once they were inside of that big van, military kind of
The military van truck. Yeah.
truck. Yes, and look, once it was without battery, without key, just one of these creature. I don't know how, and they don't know how. They don't understand that. They just run the motor of this truck, and it moved and shot into the birch tree and stopped there. All inside. They were sitting inside. They were inside. This my friends. They were three at that time. At that time, they fell down from their chairs when they sitting inside from the on the bed, on the chairs, etc. They were fell down because was a big shock to the birch tree. They were very excited because no battery in the car, no key. How they could start that? But after that, the truck stopped and they went later on. It was calm. They went out, and we have now some videos, but I cannot show this time. Just today, my friend, one of them, made the video in YouTube about that event, and also he showed the truck without battery, showed some, but the moment when it was moved, of course, it was not shot. It was not made the video of that, and other things happened there. And once even this one of that creature got inside of the van and took my friend, his doctor of biology, 70 years old, Andrei Stroganov. And that creature took him on his right or left leg, and shock on the leg. Even he showed me after the like some not wound, some like easy wound, like so, not cut the skin, but it was, I don't know how to call it, the print of his hand.
Oh.
What you
Wow.
see, even so happened there. We don't understand what was the reason that I said, but after it was calm and they continued their staying there, some happening were, but yet it is necessary to study what happened, what was the reason, why it's so. Because last time when I was there in November, even I was shaking with one of these creatures. Yes, and also this Andrei, he was also shocked. What is pushed into his shoulder, and he fell down. It was just close to me. I was in less than 1 meter away of him, and he fell down on the snow. This time, the same creature took him for his leg and shook him. Shook. This happens
that's incredible.
in our country. I think soon it will be. Soon it will be the continuation. We shall prepare some video. If I come to the United States, I can show some when I will have presentation there, New York conference and other conferences.
Well, that would be amazing because I know people,
Yes,
want to see videos and of
yes,
these.
we should prepare some. Of course, it was at night time. The light was very low, like so, very dark, and not seeing this even actions. They were not seeing because they were very afraid, close with blankets, etc. It happens, but as we say, what happened after they show the results of that video. So this is about, but at the same time, for example, when I was in Nebraska in April, and after we moved into Colorado, near the Denver, and there we showed the the session. We recorded the session of phone
conversation.
Yes, with that you can show this now, and I can comment if you can you show now?
Yes,
Yes,
I can. Let me get this ready for a
and
second.
also David Paulidis was there. He took part in that.
Yes,
in that,
this is
yes.
this is a recorded conversation after you had presented on stage and talked to him. So this is another conversation presented with a smaller group of people.
Can you show?
Yes, let me do this right now.
It would be better, yes. Show now. I will comment. And this is the book by David Paulidis.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start.
I can continue to speak. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. It happened so that it
the
was
volume
a
is.
conference, and we were speaking there, sharing our information, etc. But just you find that session. I will tell now if
It's having a little bit of
you
trouble
can
here.
see this what I show this book.
Yes, the book.
And what was interesting, I found he presented this book to me, and I found the picture of the creature. It was drawn in America by the artist on the description of the eyewitness. And I see we had a bad picture of that person with whom we spoke on phone. He was very, very similar to this. He has looked like this. this face in
Very human-like.
Paulides' book. You see what is interesting?
It is. It's very
Very,
human-like.
very much look like this one.
Yeah, I believe that's the Hoopa Project, the book that he wrote, David Paulides.
Mm.
And that is one of the
Okay,
pictures in there.
let us continue without that video.
Yeah, I'm having some trouble. Give me 1 second. I might have to
It would be interesting to show.
restart this computer. I messed with it earlier and stuff. It was working fine. So
It
we are-
was there also. I have a nice impression from that visit of Nebraska with Harriet McFeely. Harriet McFeely arranged that conference there before, and I was speaking to her. But what was interesting, we say now that these creatures are human, adjacent humans, though they live in the wild, they live as animals, but anyway, they are very intelligent. They are have a very developed consciousness, and they can do many things, many interesting things, which is similar of the human work. For example, it started in 1970s when I started to study the braiding in horse mans.
yes.
Braiding appear in horse mans, and 5 seasons. I spent 5 seasons to study this, to try to find who is doing, but I could not see that. Anyway, I came to conclusion that this braiding is made by these creatures, wild men there. After that, I met the same phenomenon in the United States. One woman sent me the photograph in 2006. In 2006, from Missouri state, very many photos of braiding horsemen. And I was sure that they are made by their hands, but the hands of these wild men. And this time, when I was in Nebraska, I met with Don Monroe. Don Monroe,
yes.
Known in the United States, and he presented me his book about horse men, braiding
Horses.
horse men. Is it seen? Oh yes, like so. It is called "The Braided Horses Are Coming." The braided horses are coming. And what is interesting, he said that he was inspired with my publications about horse braiding. Even here on the first page of this book, he has dedication to presentation to me, and he writes here that I'm what is here, Igor Burtsev, Hastings, Nebraska. His research pertaining to Russian here plating much help pertaining to Russian here horse plating much help to inspire this book. And I'm proud that he is my follower in this question. He studied for 40 years this phenomenon of horse braiding, and issued this big book, which consists of some three, 370 pages, and he's following. But it was further development of this study. Harriet McFeely, who arranged that conference in Nebraska, in Hastings, Nebraska, she also issued this book, which is called A Walk on the Weird Side in Nebraska. But the most of this book dedicated to plating, to breeding horses, manes. Yes, this, for example, picture, one of the picture, but it is another kind. And he also, she was citing my pictures, which I published in some books before, and also Don Monroe inspired her. This she is citing my book pictures there.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon. It does happen, and
Look,
it's very
my photograph about horse breeding, etc. But what was the weird? What was very amazing that this creature start to strip the flag of the United States, state flag, and after braid these strips into the and they found some 14 such examples of braiding flags. Look,
wow.
just a
I've
moment.
never heard about that.
That's interesting.
And in her museum, yes, this is a picture, for example. In her museum, there were such 14 flags from various places of the United States, which are stripped to the some laces like so, and after plated. It is very, very interesting development of that. Yeah, this is one. It is activity. It's confirmed that they are very intelligent. They can do some kind of work which is only can be done by humans, but they can do this also. This is one why we say that they are human. Also,
Yeah, they're very human-like.
yes,
I believe
human.
they're like we have Native American tribes and stuff, so they're like a tribe of people or hominin. I can play the phone conversation you had through my phone, so I believe people can hear. I don't. They won't have a presentation because.
If you can get in that conversation, it would be interesting.
Yes, and this conversation, the one that you had on stage for the conference in Nebraska. This has happened after the conference, backstage, with a smaller group of people to answer some questions in the chat. All right, so let's do this and see if you guys can hear.
That means this wild man can speak. They can understand the language of that country where they live. For example, here in Russia, they understand Russian language. But for
You guys hearing
example,
this?
in North America, they understand and use Indian language. That means what is Aboriginal language.
I'm not hearing Igor. Are you hearing it, Josh? Oh, you are. What's going on with me?
Have you any assistant to do this? No.
All right, let me try that again. Sorry, guys.
And just No, no matter. Let us continue.
Can you guys hear? No?
I
Not
don't
really.
hear.
Okay. Unfortunately, I guess we're not going to be able to explain to people what was going on. I can put a link in the description for people to listen to after um, this conversation. It's about 15 minutes long, and you guys go back and forth. And this Bigfoot sounds like like really groggly voices. And what exactly is it talking about? How can you understand what it's saying?
Their language is a little more rude, not a little, but much ruder, more rude than our speaking. For example, I could not understand all of their speaking, but I heard my name very properly. I can try to repeat it. They say, means hello.
Yeah.
And it reminds me when Janice Carter she communicated with the family of Bigfoot in some end of 1990s, like so, and she once say they can speak but rude, and she said, for example, they say hello, like so, hello, and Janice Carter had created the dictionary of their speaking, and she put into that dictionary some 300 words, 300 words which they use in their speaking, and also she was the first who spoke about their speaking. After that, Scott Nelson, military cryptolinguist, he studied their voices, their sound records, and he came to conclusion that yes, they can speak human languages. And now I just say that there is some kind of tribes or even maybe race of secret maybe civilization, like so, some kind of human which are closed, which are not disclosing themselves, etc. But anyway, they try to communicate with our people who are friendly to them.
That's very interesting about they do sound like that on the recorder. It's very drawn out and kind of animal like almost. It's a lot of groans and stuff. I'm gonna try to replay it if I can. See if it can work. Let me try. But at the conference,
and also
have you set up so you can?
I want to tell that now, for example, we study this in Denmark, the DNA of Zana case.
A little bit.
Our readers or people interested in this subject, they know that case that in 19th century there was a wild woman captured in the forest in Abkhazia and the Caucasus, North Caucasus, and she was kept by the humans, by the people, in one fence, etc. And after some of the local men had the relation with her, and she gave birth to 4 children, and these children uh, brought up and by the people, by the humans, and after we know exactly where was the grave of her son Hui, and now we have 2 skulls. One skull of her son Hui, and another skull was woman skull, but we were not sure that it was the skull of Zana herself. And we sent the samples in once in New York City, the New York University laboratory. They studied in 2006. I was uh, visiting them. They studied the bones of that skulls and came to conclusion that this skull, woman's skull, belonged to her, to Huit's mother. That means to Zana. But nothing more they can do. They can say. And after Brian Sykes from professor from Oxford, he also studied that bones to find the DNA. He also confirmed that. Oh no, he said no, they are not related each other. But again, these bones are studied now in Copenhagen, in the University of Copenhagen in laboratory. And they came to conclusion that yes, this woman was a mother of Hui, that means she was Zana. And now this study is continuing, and soon will be the article published in the scientific journal about this
Wow.
study.
That's fantastic to hear.
This is also one of direction of study this subject, which is continuing now. And also, as I told you, last year in February, I visited France, one place in France, one city in France, where one man, David, his name, he even noticed that the wild man coming very close to his house. He lives in a 9-floor house, but anyway, in the city. But there is a place close to his to that house. There were close some bushes, and into these bushes coming that wild men, and he saw several times their signs there. And I visited that last year in February, and come to conclusion that yes, they make such structures, shelters from wood, from poles, branches, twigs, etc. And this year, he said, we made a video. It was seen the creature, but yet they did not complete that film. It's necessary to montage it and make some film confirming their existing there. This is also one of direction of study this subject.
Yeah, film would be excellent, especially to prove some of the stuff that's happening. I think I found another way that we can try to do this. Let me get set up right now, and we'll try it the old-fashioned way. All right. Let's try to do this. Looks like that's
Okay, I think we shall. We can now complete this. What you show? There's, it is, yes, it is. It was the session of phone call.
Будет он говорить что-то? Или ты будешь что-то говорить? Welcome.
Yes, this man from our country, he is speaking. He said, I will call now Greg. Greg, he's called Greg.
Да, Игорь Буртсев разговаривает.
Да, сейчас подойдет.
That creature when he yes. He said in Russian, Igor Burtsev, hello. Igor Burtsev, hello.
Okay, all right. Let's keep going.
Ну что, Алексей, переводи.
I ask Alexei to translate. Yes. You can see Igor Burtsev. He said.
Yep.
Привет, Гриша, привет.
Hello, Grisha.
Чё? Я...
Он, сказал начал говорить сначала, кто это, что это, а потом услышал ваш голос и сразу сказал Игорь Буртсев, привет.
Да.
This guy said, who was speaking, and after he heard my voice and say, oh, Igor Burtsev, hello. Because I met with them last November.
Right.
And after Politis also took part in this conversation. He was
there's
speaking.
several people sitting there. David Politis is one of them, and other people who were down in row, I'm guessing, and other people at the conference. So this is backstage and stuff, of course, after.
Что он спрашивает?
И спрашивают, когда приедешь, типа тут много чего.
When I come to them. Ну вот после 9 мая приеду. After 9th of May.
He asked me when I come to them.
Там подскажет.
Он, короче, сейчас у меня спрашивают, с кем Игорь Буртсев сидит.
С очень хорошими людьми, которые книга...
Who else is with Igor Burtsev? Who else there? He said.
Вещи, что они люди, что их нельзя преследовать, что их нельзя убивать ни в коем случае, что
I
это...
speak about Politis. Who is here?
Паулидис, кстати, вот он как раз такими вещами занимается. Объясни ему.
Politis is their friend.
Из-за океана, он говорит, я из-за океана.
Behind the ocean, he said.
Привет всем. Greetings to all.
He said greetings to Politis.
Oh wow, very interesting.
Ой, он тут целую, короче...
Тираду, да.
Он услышал голос этого Дэвиса.
Ага, Дэвида. Your voice.
И он, короче, как бы взбудоражился такой. Ему интересно стало. Он такой говорит, давай вот ты еще что-нибудь мне порассказывай.
Вот Дэвид Паулидис, он как раз...
He speak about David Politis.
Say some words to him.
Greetings from the United States. It's great to hear you. Thank you.
Вот он сказал, приветствую Соединенных Штатов Америки. И он говорит, всячески доказывает людям, что они люди, что они очень
That they are
грамотные, как
human,
говорится,
human-like.
мудрые и все такое прочее. Да.
Еще, знаете, что добавьте? Скажите, что они еще благородные.
Да.
То, что их научить
Ой,
на тракторе. Вот я лично научил ездить на машине.
What he said that they like now, they are very clever, and now he can drive the car. This Greg. Yes. Я перевел, да. Алло.
Да, вот. Он тут слишком громко, короче, орет, а так ему обязан сейчас пока.
Oh, some dogs are barking there also.
He said that Paulides has the same beard and mustache that that Greg, wild man. He understood this.
Okay, he understood what
Okay,
Dave White said.
we can stop now that session because maybe just it showed Paulides standing there, but no matter.
Is that good?
Just to show Paulides, he was standing there. Next will be no matter.
He was there.
What
You could hear his voice
Yes.
and stuff, and
That is why what I want to conclude that this, as you call it, cryptid, is not an animal, but just a human. But they are very clever, and they have even supernatural qualities. They can use telepathy. They can use telekinesis. They can use teleportation. That is why it is very difficult to catch them, to camera, to record some sound, etc. Now, in that expedition, we could only record their sounds and speaking to them, etc. But we could not photograph them. We could not make video of them. They don't like it. They are afraid that people will harm them much. That is why they don't agree. But anyway, they are interested to communicate with humans, to communicate with humanity. They say, if the humans will help us not to live calmly, to live quietly in our locations, we can teach them, we can teach humans to use this telepathy and other capabilities, what could be useful for them. This is, we should, that is why, for example, me and my comrades, they are make so much to show the people that they are human-like creatures. They are not animals. This is very important.
yeah, they don't seem to be like animals. They're too intelligent. They do things that are not animalistic. You know, animals are controlled by instinct and by their gut, by food and survival. These things are messing around, playing tricks, strategizing how to even what we experience around Josh's spot is they do tactics and things and let us know that they're there when we have interactions and stuff. And we're speaking some native, and they all of a sudden move some brush and break some twigs and let us know that they are responding to a question. It's obvious that it's not an animal, but a forest person. You know, it's intelligent.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more that we just don't know. You know, we don't have no clue about how they do anything. So everything that people say is always, speculation and theory and stuff. But there's a lot of weird interactions people are having that we maybe should pay attention to a lot more.
Okay, shall we complete? our
Let's take some questions, if you don't mind. All right, people in the chat, let's take some questions. Josh, what kind of questions
is
you
there
got
a
for
question
Igor?
here?
What kind of questions do I have?
Yeah, what kind of questions do you have and stuff? And let's take some questions from the chat.
Well, I do have one of the questions. How does the terrain compare from Russia, where you do your research, to the terrain here in Colorado?
What is it?
The environment in Russia, the research area, how is it like Colorado or America and stuff?
What is
Environment.
the comparison, or what to say?
The environment, the land.
It
Plants.
is similar. The temperature was the same, I think, like so. Yes, it is very similar. For example, there where we were in expedition, it was foothills of Ural Mountains. That is like in Colorado. There are some foothills I saw there, but mostly flat surface. It is nomad, but of course, there in Colorado there are very picturesque these valleys, etc. We were, for example, there in what is I forgot how it is called, that Bailey, yes, Colorado. Was very interesting place. It's like in our Caucasus, like so, our Caucasus.
Yes. That's an amazing place, the Caucasus.
And the creatures there, I think they're the same. They what is habit there? Yeah, they also reside there or live there. In
Yeah.
Colorado, also in every state of the United States of America.
All right, we got some questions. I got some. So, how long has the interaction between Greg and
How long? What?
talking on the phone between Greg, the Sasquatch, and Alex?
This time,
Alex.
this time we were about 10 minutes speaking with him, maybe more, 15 minutes, like so. We were speaking. Yes, we tried to do this. It was the second time. First time we were speaking in Nebraska, in Hastings, but it was not well arranged. The technology was not prepared much, and etc. That is why it was a little not qualitative. But here was in Colorado, it was a narrow circle where we're taking part there. Me, Robin, McRae, also Jim, organizer of this conference there. Also this Paulides and his wife, Angel. Yes, and she was speaking to them, and also he himself, Paulides, speaking, and Jim also was speaking, and Robin was speaking with them. All of presented 5 persons we took part in that conversation, that communication, and all of us could speak to this Greg, Bigfoot of Russia. You see, with use of using the Alexei as an interpreter, because Alexei is understanding his speech better than me. I don't understand much. I just heard my name and hello, like so, very easy words. But Alexei understands much more their speaking.
All right, and you
And
said you were gonna.
it was about half an hour. Yes, I think half an hour, like so. It was continuing.
Yeah. We got some other questions. scroll to the top.
And our task, I want to complete it. Our task is to communicate with this group of or family of this creature to get a good relation, stable relation with them. We try to arrange this. And also they said about that let you arrange this territory, as we say, reserve. Nature reserve, like so, wild forest reserve there, not to hunt there, not to cut
Right,
the
protection of
trees.
the animals in the place.
What?
That's protecting the animals and stuff.
Yeah.
Here's another question: have you ever heard them keeping time to music with their wood knocks? Have you heard music in the woods? Have you heard them?
Me?
Yes.
No. From their side or what? I don't know.
Interacting with music you play or producing their own music.
Please, more loud. Say it more loud. I don't understand.
Does the Bigfoot interact with the music that you are playing? Do they make their own music in the woods? Have you heard any of that?
I
It's okay.
could not understand, but maybe I will answer as I understand. From one side, from our side, they like music. They like songs. When the human sing a song and playing guitar, for example, playing other musical instruments, but also they try to sing. For example, that a few days ago, that Alexei sent me the record how there's Greg trying to sing under his guitar. It is they like music. They like music. I know also in the United States, for example, in Washington State, Paul Graves, he's playing guitar, and they are looking what is he try to hear him. This they like it. They I can say, I don't know if I answered the question or not.
You did. Yes, you did. Have you ever heard of Bigfoot around nuclear power plants and stuff? Had no any connection?
What once again?
The forest people around nuclear power plants?
About nuclear?
Around nuclear power plants.
Oh, I don't know. They are interested in such things, I know, but especially about nuclear power plant, I cannot say.
Okay, that answers that one.
They are interested, for example, UFO. They are interested. It is some concern. I don't understand yet, but they know what is UFO and what the alien coming there, etc. They have some concern, but what was this concern? I don't know. They are interested. Maybe they are interested in the places when UFO landing, or also, but they are not connected directly. They are not going from UFO. It is
okay,
clear.
gotcha.
Clear, yes. But some relation they have, some attitude they pay to this subject.
We have seen UFOs in Bigfoot hotspots, and we've seen orbs and other weird paranormal stuff around the forest people spots here in Michigan. It's very interesting. We don't know in Florida. We don't know if it's connected or not, but it certainly happens at the same spots, and I believe researchers should take note, look into it a little bit more.
As you mentioned Michigan, I was a lot of times there in Michigan,
Yes.
around White Cloud, and in other places, Detroit, some other. There are very, very many interesting things happening there in Michigan. For example, I know Chuck Litzau, biologist. He showed me some thing when the grass is growing through the uh, cover of plastic cover of the garbage cans. Just they do somehow, I don't know, that this grass is going through the small holes in this cover. They making these holes. I don't know how they do. Also, they can this. They have much weird activities with such things like I don't know. Yet it's not explained how they do that. For example, they through green leaf, big leaf, there is going one grass through this leaf. I don't know how they do this. It's a
Wow.
connection with them. I don't know.
There's a lot of strange things that we just don't know. I know
It's
we got
necessary to study. It is necessary, but it's a pity that scientific establishment they don't pay attention
right.
to this creature. And all the study, all the research is made by enthusiasts, just easy people, not prepared scientifically, etc. Just experience, make experience with them. A lot of people communicate with them, study them, but not much skilled in the scientific world.
Right. A lot of amateur citizen scientists, as we would try to strive to be. Researchers, yeah, we're not professional by any means. A lot of people are credentialed, of course.
It's necessary
but
to
we
study this subject.
we
This,
are studying. You are trying.
by
Yes.
specialist, by
I
special institute, by special institute. By
I think
special,
I think that hopefully that will change. I think the more the evidence that comes out, they just can't deny it, and they will have to study it. They will have to study these creatures with the evidence that we show them, with more videos, more audio, more experiences by these credible people, and taking these credible scientific community out there and letting them experience the stuff in the woods so that they can tell their colleagues they have to study. That's why we need to step up the evidence and being actually more professional in this, because we need to convince these people eventually, or just push it down their throats until they accept it with our own evidence that they can't deny, they can't break apart on all the stuff that's happening in the woods.
I can say that even in 1960s, our professor Porshnev said we have Mont Blancs of evidence. Mont Blancs of evidence. That means big mounds of evidence. But no science, official science, don't pay attention to that. Now I can say we have Himalayan of evidence. Himalayan of evidence.
Yeah, the Himalayan mountains.
This subject is closed for scientific research, for official science research. It is a big problem. I don't know what to do with this. We continue this on our with our efforts, with our intents, etc., voluntarily,
Right.
without any support. Only some people donate to study this. For example, in your country, also a lot of people who support funding this research, etc. Also, they are interested in this subject, and they start help to study this. But it is not enough. It's necessary to have some scientific establishment to study this subject, this phenomenon.
Yeah, it's sad. Hopefully that will change. I know a lot of good stuff is coming out, and I think more and more. As a new generation will come up.
Yeah, and as
I
technology progresses.
You see, new generation, we can hope to new generation, but as I remember, since 1954, there were 3 generations has gone, but nothing changed with this attitude of
That is true.
official scientific establishment. Sorry, but it is such.
Those are wise words that I think we should take heed to, and
I think
hopefully change.
Anyway, I think we shall come to win. In
Yes, conclusion of the show. Yes.
We shall prove that they are existing, and it's necessary to pay attention. It's necessary to communicate with them, to have stable communication with these adjacent humans. Adjacent humans, I say, they're adjacent humans. Thank you for attention.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Igor. It's nice to meet
for
you.
this very awesome presentation. Well, thanks for everyone who was in the live chat and enjoying this special presentation. We'll be back with more live shows soon and some videos that we'll be posting. And Igor is right. We should be interacting with these forest people a lot more and hopefully crack the code, this mysterious code that we just can't solve, and get better evidence and hopefully one day change the opinions.
It is my book, just is printing. They're printing now in the United States, and when I come to the United States, I can distribute this book. It is called "This In Search of Evidence." In search of evidence, just about evidence. Yet it's no manual must be in Russia and beyond.
That's awesome. A news book, and you know what? You can find that right here because you're presenting at our conference, and we're just honored to have you. And of course, that's July 17th. Contact us at MichiganBigfootConference.com. That's the best place. It has all the information. We're setting up everything, and yeah, it's going to be an amazing event, guys. You really you're not going to want to miss it. And Igor's going to have his book there. So if you want it and you want it fast, that's probably the fastest way. All right, guys. Until next time, I will see you on the other side.
Hello.